So, do you want to move to Canada but needs to take a high stake English test? Did you know that there is another test you can take you to help you do this? Canada has its own English test called CELPIP. So hi everyone, welcome back to our channel Visa Solutions for You. I'm Prinkle Kaur, and in today's video, we are going to discuss everything about you need to know so that you can make the right decision for you about which one to choose, IELTS or CELPIP. There are a number of similarities and differences between these two tests, and I'm pretty much sure that you know all about IELTS. But now, let's talk about CELPIP. CELPIP stands for Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. It's a test authorized for visa approvals for Canada by IRCC, which stands for Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. For a visa to immigrate to Canada, the IRCC will require you to provide an English proficiency test, and they will only accept the results from CELPIP and IELTS. There are two versions of CELPIP, CELPIP General and CELPIP LS. So, if you are planning for study visa, you probably need to choose CELPIP General. But for immigration and work visa, it could be either. So be sure and double check which one is right for you. The CELPIP LS will only test you on listening and speaking, while the CELPIP General will also test you on reading and writing. Let's take a look at the similarities between IELTS and CELPIP. These both tests are used to assess English language proficiency. These both tests are highly regarded for immigration, study, and work purposes. These are authorized by the IRCC. These both tests are available internationally. Both tests will test to a high level of proficiency. So, if you need a high score, you will need to determine that how much time you will need to prepare. Some people may only take some days so that they can learn about the format, while some people need to ensure whether their English level is sufficient or not. Now, let's take a look at the differences. IELTS require a face-to-face speaking test. CELPIP is always completed on the same day. IELTS take 2 hours and 45 minutes. CELPIP takes 3 hours. CELPIP has a stronger focus on functional language of everyday situations with a strong focus on Canadian settings and lifestyle. CELPIP has a focus on North American accents. IELTS has a range of accents. The content is more informational and general. Finally, in most cases, CELPIP costs less than IELTS. Now, let's look a little closer at each section and the differences between the tests. IELTS and CELPIP listening. In both tests, there are 4 parts. In CELPIP listening, it will take 55 minutes, but in IELTS, it is for 30 minutes. In CELPIP, you will listen the audio before you see the questions. But in IELTS, you will see the questions before you listen and while you are listening. In CELPIP, there are all multiple choice questions, but in IELTS, multiple choice, gap fill, and labeling questions will be there. IELTS and CELPIP reading. These both tests last for 1 hour. In CELPIP reading, there are 4 sections of questions. In IELTS reading, there are 3 sections. In CELPIP reading, there are all multiple choice questions. In IELTS reading, range of questions types. This means you need to be able to spell correctly in IELTS, and it's not as easy to guess an answer. IELTS and CELPIP writing. In IELTS writing task 1, you will write a letter or a description of a data set. In IELTS writing task 2, you will write an essay. In CELPIP writing task 1, you will write an email on an everyday matter. In CELPIP writing task 2, you will respond to a survey questions. Both tests have 2 tasks and a similar level of difficulty, but overall, the CELPIP test has a lower word count needed. So, which one you find easier will depends on your own writing style. IELTS and CELPIP speaking. In CELPIP speaking, there are 8 parts lasting up to 20 minutes. In IELTS speaking, there are 3 parts lasting up to 14 minutes. The key difference here is that CELPIP speaking is taken via computer in a room with other candidates, while the IELTS speaking is taken in a private room with an examiner. Now, depending on which setting you find most comfortable and better for your confidence and concentration, you may prefer one test over the other. Now that you know all about these two tests, it's time for you to choose that which one is best for you, and it will vary according to the preferences of individual candidates. Now, I'm pretty much sure that I have cleared all your doubts, but if you still have any query, you can call me on the number given below. That's 95512 And if you're a candidate who is planning for study visa but still confused whether which one to choose between IELTS or PT, so you can click on this video and get to know more about this. Thanks for watching our video.